Alrighty. And then again, round chin to chest, palms pressing forward, rounding upper back, knees lift up a little bit. Ooh, good. And then inhale, rise, lift up, and then turn your chest to the right. Release the hands down. Yeah, that's it. Twist. That's right. And then reach up through center, look up, interlace your fingers together, swivel them up, and then over to your left, release the hands down. And then breathe very sweetly. Rise up through center, look up, touch the palms together, hands to heart. Ooh. If you've been coming to class, then you've heard the story of Virabhadrasana. Okay? But if you weren't here, just know that Virabhadrasana, this heroic friend, right, was born out of Shiva's heartbreak. His beloved, the love of his life, imagine that, threw herself into a fire, said goodbye. So he ripped out his dreads and he threw them on the ground. And from that sorrow, Virabhadrasana emerged, and Shiva commanded him, go avenge the death of my beloved. That's why his poses are so fierce, no? They get the fire going in the legs, and they offer us the perspective, looking up, looking side, back, and down. So we enter our own battlefields, my friends, and we have the advantage of knowing all the different ways in which to approach. Okay? Tabletop position, please. Make your way. Move your spine around, cat and cow, lateral, right? Be free. Be intuitive, like what does my body want in this moment? I want a blanket under my knees, yeah. Hi, Elizabeth, everybody. Kamala, good morning, good morning. And Terry, thank you for being here and demonstrating for us. We were having a little chat about what it means to let something go. And that it really isn't about letting go so much as it is like, I mean, you would need amnesia to really let something go, right? Like, if I see a picture of my ex, I'd be like, ugh, right? I didn't let that go. No, not nearly. But I accepted it. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. So letting go, in a way, is like a battlefield, no? It's like, I really don't want to be hurt by that experience anymore. All right, so how do I send in my Virabhadrasana, my heroic friend, to go on this battlefield to help me let that go? Help it not cause my suffering anymore. Does that make sense? Come forward, plank pose, I hope. And if it doesn't, I hope it eventually starts, right? Downward facing dog, go back. With the breath, inhale, plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, down dog, glide back. Yeah, again, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. One more, inhale, flow forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the middle of your mat. Walk your hands back to meet your feet and fold. Take the feet just like a little wider, then hip distance a little wider. Yeah, and then fold the body. Soft bend in the knees, right? Yeah. You can pick up your hands. You can hold for opposite elbows. Keep your knees bent if you're swaying. Right? They're soft and sweet. Everyone's fighting something. Good. Switch the other arm in front if you're holding. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And then hands to the shins. Rise up a little bit. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Like imagine you're making a number 7 with your body. Inhale, hands to shin, lift, so you come up a little higher, good. And exhale, fold, look behind you. Good. Again, inhale, halfway lift, sternum shining forward. Exhale, fold, good, chin to chest, look behind you. Rise up to stand, reach your arms up, stand tall like you mean it, I'm here. Sama stitihi, that is hands to heart. Sama, same, stitihi, the highest. So bring your feet hip distance apart so you're nice and steady. Good. Ardha, Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Inhale, reach up, shine your light towards the sun. Exhale, forward fold. Remember to touch the ground. Yeah. Inhale, halfway lift, invite vitality in. Exhale, fold. Acknowledge your past by looking behind you. Rise up to stand. Again, turning your heart up towards the sun. Sama stitihi. You and I are the same as the highest. Again, inhale, reach up. Lift your intentions up high. Exhale, forward fold. Right? Stay grounded. Inhale, halfway lift. My heart is full. Exhale, fold. I acknowledge my past. Stand tall. Reach your arms up. Little back bend this time. Sama stitihi. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, reach up. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Breathe out. Inhale, halfway. And fold. Rise up to stand. Really reach up high, right? Highest you've ever reached in your whole life. Hands to heart. How do you want to be when you step on that battlefield? Could be the office, could be your home, and it could be on the highway. You know, there's a lot of opportunities to, not necessarily fight, but to discern about what is the right thing to do. Making decisions, how about that? Opportunities to make decisions. We need to be strong. There needs to be a certain amount of strength. Okay? So bend your knees, come into Utkatasana, fierce pose. Relying on the strength of yourself. Good. And then for today, take your gaze forward. And if it's okay on the neck, a little higher, just a touch. And then sit a little lower. Imagining that your thigh bones are coming parallel-ish to the ground. The weight is in your heels. Good. And then forward fold. Let it go. Let it go. Haha, let it go. Accept it, right? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come back to fierce pose. Sit deep into the legs. Good. Hands in prayer. Bring your thumbs and your chest to touch. Good. Now keep the lower body steady. Do not move it. Twist right. Legs don't move. Legs don't move. Right? Maybe you don't twist as far. So that the upper body remains in a meditative posture. And it is your legs, right, holding you here. One more breath. Utkatasana, face forward, reach your arms up. This time, arms around the back. Grab a hold, fold. Stretch your legs. That's it. That's what I want to hear. This is enough. Yeah, I'm just watching from my laptop. Thank you, Mama. Taking care of me. Yeah. Did you record? Yes. Is the original sound on? Yes. Okay. Can I tell you a secret? Come back to fierce pose. Not a secret, but like an inner thought of mine. I realize I'm suffering a lot because I'm hanging on to how practicing used to be. Hands to the heart, thumbs to chest. Sit deep. Good. Now don't move your legs. Just twist to the left. Upper body only. Good. And I was like, oh, Jen, I'm suffering. You know, I was like, oh, I don't like the computer, and I don't like the camera, and I don't like the screen, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But that was pulling me out of the present moment, which is practice. One more breath. Utkatasana. Arms around the back. Fold. Rinse your shoulders. Right, this month we're going to move through heroes and sages who give really good advice. Right, Sage September. And then October we're going to move through all the goddesses. And then I think November and December we're moving to the causes of suffering. Yeesh. Come back. Utkatasana. So I've got a lot of good stuff, but mostly because like what I'm working through in my own mind, in my own practice, right? Stuff that makes sense to me, that's what I'm being a conduit for. Rise up to stand. Bend your elbows, exhale, lift your heart. Samastitihi. Samastitihi. What is that? Hands to heart. Return everything to your central line. And then lift both heels, balance on the balls of your feet. Balance is not stillness. Say that one time in your mind. Balance is not stillness. And let that circulate through the sensation in your pose, okay? It's hard. Squeeze the inner heels energetically towards one another and let that power, this upward movement, shoo, up. 5, 4, 3, ankles getting strong, 1, and lower the heels down. Yay. Does that feel more like letting go? Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Hello shoulders, hello hips. One more. Inhale, plank pose. Yeah, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Bend your knees, or do what you like to do when you're down dog. Fantastic. Look between your thumbs. Bend the knees, step or hop forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to stand, prayer overhead. What do you want from today's practice? Samastitihi. Step your feet hip distance apart. Okay, and then step your left foot back, Virabhadrasana A. 1. So the left heel angled in. Thanks, Terry. Beautiful. The stance might be a little shorter in a Vira 1, so much so that your left hip is pointing at the front edge of your mat. Yeah, good. Locate your shoulders, right, proprioceptive, where they are in space. I saw that, Romy. And then please, for today, very nice. I see most of you are looking forward and up. The drishti, inner focus, physical sight, inner sight is upward in this pose. Classically defined and categorized as a back-bending pose. Back-bending, aka heart lifting. Inhale, 2. Exhale, can you bend deeper into the front knee? Oh, you can, good. 1. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, plank pose. Downward dog, exhale, good. This time, plank pose, come forward. Lower knees, chest, chin. Sorry, Trudy. Inhale, Cobra Pose, come forward, lift the heart. Downward facing dog. Practicing total acceptance. Plank pose, come forward. Bend your elbows halfway or all the way. Complete your version. What is your Vinyasa? What is the perfect tool that you need to clear away the residue of your week? Yo, downward dog. Downward dog. Look between your thumbs, bend the knees, step or hop forward quietly. Very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand tall. Feel the spine, right? Oh. Hands to heart. Feet are hip distance. Step your right foot back, Vira1. Vira translates to hero, right? Not warrior, hero. Bhadra is friend. Hero friend. Not a warrior. Though a hero will probably show up to battle, for you? Because he's your friend. That makes sense to me, right? The good, loyal friends always show up when you need them, even though it's hard, like taking you to the airport at 4 a.m. or helping you move, right? Two big signs of a good friend, no? So take your gaze forward and up if those examples just brought someone to your mind. And then I want you to think about when you were a good friend. Did you take someone to the airport? Downward facing dog, go back. Stay here or take one vinyasa of choice. I realize now I was so attached to playing music during class that I started suffering when I couldn't. And then now I'm listening to the squeaky noises of your feet on your mat and I am having a ball. This is so beautiful, right? Whatever pulls you out of the present moment is cause for suffering. Whew. Look between your thumbs, soft bend in the knees, step or hop forward and fold. As you inhale, halfway lift, expand your lungs. Exhale, fold. This time, Utkatasana, sink the hips, fierce pose. That's it. And then rise up to stand, hands in prayer. Separate your feet a little bit. Step your left foot back, high lunge. High lunge, so the back heel is up this time. And then open Vira2. Right, gaze in front of your right fingertips so far that you see beyond the wall that's in front of you. If you're looking through a window, it's beyond the trees and beyond the mountains. It's beyond the limitations. What is bound by what we can see with our physical eyes, and use your spiritual eyes to look through. Keep your body as it is, steady and firm and strong. Look behind you, past your left fingertips, right? And you look past and through. There's so much more. What if we thought this was it? Like this wall, that's it. No more beyond that. It's limiting. It's confining. You and I know there's something beyond that. So look through and feel that softness in your eyes, allowing that imagination to come through. Thank you. Look down at your back foot. Oop, there it is. And then reverse. Oh, where's my back foot? Good. And then as you secure yourself through your feet to the center of the earth, you bend more with the top arm. Michael, that's beautiful. One more breath. Virabhadrasana B. Come back. What's that? We'll switch it up, right? Vira2, Virabhadrasana. 2 or B, same pose. Okay? Unbend your front knee. Sway your hips a little bit. So it's like, I love that sound. Yeah, pop, pop, pop. Good. And then come into triangle pose, adjusting your feet as you need. Placing a block underneath the right hand if you like. For the longest time, I would grab props when I was learning, and I never used them. I don't know why. Until my teacher said, put the block there. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, right? So part of this yoga practice is actually using the tools that you have, and that's a beautiful metaphor for when we live our lives, right? How do we have all these tools, but we need to actually use them, no? Please bring your right hand to your right shin, everyone, even if you can touch the ground. Take your top arm at a diagonal, reaching, making a long, long line from your left back foot. Yeah, good. Fantastic. Would you like to lift your bottom arm? You don't have to, right? But this is what I mean by there's tools in your body, right? There's your transverse abdominals, like these obliques over here that, we want to use them. Okay? Cool. One more breath. Everybody go back to triangle pose. So, look down. Stand up. Hands to hips. Point your right toes forward. Point your right toes forward. We're coming into wide-legged forward fold. That's it. So the toes are either parallel to one another or they're pointing in a little bit. And then forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Fold. It's like a different version of mountain pose, right? Where your low back is the peak of the mountain. Let your hands do what it wants, right? Touching down or holding the ankles, the feet, the toes. And use your breath here to send cooling comfort from your low back to your skull. And then like down your glutes, the backs of the legs, all the way to the heels. The breath is an incredible tool we can use to not only physiologically change what's happening internally, and we know this, hopefully. Yeah, but this breath can teach us how to navigate this inner landscape. Okay, halfway lift. Hands to the hips, strong belly, rise up to stand. Turn your toes out, sink the hips, goddess pose, arms out. Sway a little left and right. Yay. And if your palms are facing up, imagine you're holding like 2 cups of tea. It's fun to visualize in the practice, right? And then that way your palms are like super involved. Good. Now sink the hips down a little bit lower. I won't say who, but there are some pregnant mamas here. So we do this for them, okay? So sit a little lower. Lift your right heel. Pulse up and down. 5, 4, 3. No right, no wrong. 2, 1. Put that heel down. Lift your left heel. Pulse up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that heel down. Lift both heels. 5, 4. Labor Day, no? 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels down. Unbend your legs. Hands to the hips. Rest. If you want to stand and protest for a long time, if you want to march, right, for something you really believe in, that you want to see happen, change you want to see, it takes some strength, right? It takes hard work. Okay, we're going to come into Vira 2 the other way. So it's your left toes pointing at the back. Yeah, good. I wanted to do it this way so we actually literally change our perspective. So now the back is the front and the front is the back, and Terri, you're side to side, right? Good. So gaze in front of your left fingertips. What is the back now is the front, but it doesn't matter because you are flexible in gaining perspective. You are capable of adapting to looking a different way to gain what it is that you need. Relax your shoulders, please. So the breath doesn't get caught in any tense muscles, unnecessary for this pose. Bend a little deeper into that front knee because you are able to. And then track your gaze from the front fingertips to the back. You ever see a hawk perched up and it just has its gaze and just scanning, but its body is so still? That's how we take in information with the awareness of your whole body. Inhale 2. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale 1. As you exhale, reverse. Look at your back foot. It's the right foot, yeah. And then you look down. You bend the front knee forward as you reach that left arm back. If we want to more capacity, we need to stretch. Yeah? And the beauty of this pose is that you're stretching and you're strengthening at the same time. Virabhadrasana B, come back. Whew. Unbend your front knee, double oof. Adjust your back foot, set yourself up. If you have a block, take it with you to the other side for Utthita Trikonasana. Yeah. Oh, I love hearing to like that little baby breaths that I hear. Those breaths of understanding and communication and nurturing, nourishing the relationship with our own thoughts. Right? What kind of thoughts, what flavor of thoughts are going through your mind around breath 4 or 5 in triangle? Can you turn them around if they are not in a good direction and turn them around to something, someone? And then slide your left hand to the left shin. So coming out a little bit, even if you don't need to. Top arm at a diagonal, please. Lift the bottom arm. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Use the tools. 2. Exhale. Just one more breath. 1. Exhale, triangle pose. Good. Look down. Stand up. Vira 2. Rebend. Good. Looking in all directions. Unbend your front knee, hands to your hips. Turn your left toes forward this time. Check your heels. Are they like in a line to the best of your ability? Good. And then hinging from your hips, fold forward. Prasarita. Prasarita. Forward fold. That looks good. What do you want to gain from your practice today? Thank you. Now everybody come up halfway. Turn your toes out as if you were going to goddess pose and shimmy the feet out so you got a nice wide stance. And we're going to do a little skandasana flow, a little side to side. So keeping your finger pads down, just shifting side to side. Your knees are going in the same direction as your toes. That's it. And then I'll invite you, if there's a deeper version that you have, to go all the way over to the right. Make the adjustments that you need. Yeah, maybe the left toes even pop up. Good. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Maybe they even wrap and bind. You know who you are. Good. 2 breaths here. Holding a place, right, that's sustainable and strong and fierce, but also friendly. And then release whatever you're holding, move through center, shift skandasana over to the left. I didn't plan on this one, but skanda is also a warrior, no? He rides a peacock. He's very cool. Breathe in, 2. Exhale. Steadiness in your heart, 1. And exhale. Release the bind, come through center. Unbend both knees and fold. One more time. Adjust your toes so that they're pointing forward or a little bit pigeon-toed, a little bit in. Keeping your knees very supple and safe. Arms can go behind the back. Sometimes when my neck is feeling just a little bit cranky, I interlace my hands, place it softly on my skull. Give myself a really gentle traction on the neck. Good. Slowly release whatever you're holding. Make your way downward facing dog. Around the world we go. Like really feel down dog like you've never felt it before. Huh? Like something new happening. Whew. Lift your right leg up and back. Look between your thumbs. Place that foot forward. Good. Walk your hands forward. Lift your back leg parallel to the ground. We start with the hands down. Okay? Look back, check your left toes. See where they're pointing. Hopefully down. Yeah. Good. Now soft bend, and like micro bend your right knee. Can you bring the hands to the heart? See. See if that's possible. And once you're there, slowly unbend the right knee. You can use the bar, Terri. It's right there. Use the tools that you have. Romy, use the tool that you have. Good. I want to give you an option called Crouching Warrior 3. You bring your left hand to your right ankle and then begin to bend your right knee. Crouch low, look forward. And Terri, maybe your right hand comes down to the ground as your left hand holds your ankle. Good. Look forward. It's fierce. Wow, it was a long hold, huh? Good. Downward facing dog. Unwind everything. Let that go. Inhale, plank pose. My friends, rinse it out however you like. The perfect tool for you. Down dog is where we meet. Lift your left leg up. Look between your hands. Step that foot forward. Walk your hands forward. Lift your right leg. Check your toes. Right? And if you're like, I'm happy with my hands down, then you stay here with your whole heart. Otherwise, bend your left knee a little bit, hands in prayer. Terri, just because you're demoing doesn't mean you have to do it, okay? I know. There's pressure. I know. Good. And if you'd like to take the crouching warrior, right hand, left ankle, bend left knee. But keep reaching that right leg back. Good. And then the gaze is a little forward. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. Good job, good job. Thank you, thank you. Inhale, plank. Either hold plank or cycle through. Every vinyasa, just the perfect tool. Child's pose. In Warrior 3, we look down, right? Top-down view, very useful. Google Earth view. And when we have the ability, right, we're like, oh, I've seen it from the sides, the back, the top, the bottom. I have a spherical perspective. Just imagine how that can help us make decisions when we've seen it from a spherical, global perspective. And then you add in spiritual and emotional, right? I've seen it from all these different places. Then is it possible to see common ground with your enemy? Maybe. Downward facing dog. Good. Reach your right leg up. Warrior 1. Nice. Situate your feet. Left heel is down. Your hips proprioceptive, right? They're facing the front edge of your mat. Both. Good. Bring the hands to interlace behind the body. Mm-hmm. What thumb is on top matches what leg is in front. I like that method. Why? So I start to release myself from the dominance of one side. Okay? Now heel, look at your right foot. Heel toe it to the right. So the right outer edge is closer to the outer edge of the mat. Good. Inhale, heart lifts. Maybe look up. Hold your balance. Exhale, fold. Humble warrior. Good. And the energetic flow of this pose is forward and down. Yet another warrior, right? Where are you looking in this pose? It's personal, right? Depending on your hips. So right hip drags back, left hip moves forward, crown of the head points down, and so you're kind of inverted, no? Good. One more breath. Thank you. Release your hands down to the ground, unbend your front knee for pyramid pose. Adjust, adjust. Folding over that right thigh, aligning the intentions of your brain and the voice that you have to speak in a line. Hi, Elizabeth. Let's take this dynamic 3 times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, fold. This time, come halfway up. Bend your right knee, vertical splits. Walk forward. Take the blocks with you. Right? Yeah. Good. Ekapada Uttanasana. 1-legged forward fold. 1 foot, spiritual world. 1 foot, physical world. And you tell me balance is not stillness, right? You agree in this pose? Right. How do you balance your spiritual work with your earthly work? You're doing it right now. Practice. Okay? 1 more breath. Downward dog. Move with grace in the body. Good. Inhale, plank pose. Lower knees, chest, chin. Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Downward facing dog. Very nice. Need a child's pose? Take it. 5 more breaths. Ooh-wee. Breathe. I muted them, they didn't hear that. Okay, lift your left leg up, downward facing. Thank you. Sometimes it comes back to me, and right now it really didn't. So, okay. And then step that foot forward, Vira 1. Oh my God, I'm so thankful. Terri, let that be a lesson. Everyone forgets. My teacher told me, just wait, it'll come back. Or ask somebody. Okay. Arms behind the back, interlace. Match the thumb on top to the leg in front. Arc your heart like a crescent moon, forward and up. Stretch long and then forward fold, humble warrior. There's a lot of negotiating with body parts. Thank you. If you moved your foot to the left, thank you for doing that. Yeah. If you didn't and you're balanced, stay. Good. And please be aware of where you're looking. No need to overcorrect. When the head is below the heart, how does that change how we view the world? 2 more breaths. Drag that left hip back. Good. Thank you. I appreciate your effort. I know. And then very sweetly lower the hands down to the ground. Vertical splits. Walk forward. Point those toes. long line from the bottom of your left foot up to the right toes. Almost there. This time, Uttanasana. Just lower the right foot next to the left. That's Utkatasana. Just Uttanasana, forward fold. Yeah. T is the fold, K is the, yeah. Good. Open your toes, Malasana. Take a squat, good. And if this is difficult, then keep your hands on the earth. We come here to learn our unique purpose in this life. If you practice yoga in this life, you probably did it in the last one, and then the one before that, and before that, each time coming to do some important work. So when you're in Malasana, Garland pose, know that you are a unique bead on this cosmic garland, mala. And with each breath, you clarify, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down, lift your hips, point your toes forward, and fold. Very nice. Open the toes, sink back down, Malasana. Whenever I know there are mamas in the room, I like to do more of this pose. Keeping the pelvis grounded. Okay. Your root chakra close to earth. Optional Bakasana crow pose. Don't have to. If you'd like to practice that, you're already there, so come in, 2 breaths. 1. Yeah. And then come back to Malasana. Everybody, hands down, forward fold. Point your toes forward. And there's a flossing of the outer hips happening. Releasing of some emotional stuff, some stories hiding there. All right, this time a little different, another variation. Separate your feet a little bit, but keep your feet parallel this time. Keeping the feet parallel, sink the hips down. Ooh. Open the knees a little bit and let the body round forward. If the toes want to turn, let them turn, not a big deal. It's a different variation here, rounding the back, doing what you're not supposed to do. Yeah, Carol, exactly. One more breath. Downward dog, make your way. Phew, good. Lift your right leg up, bend knee, open hip. Whoa, there it is. Roll that top ankle around, circle that right knee around, but stay connected to the 3 limbs still on earth. All right, and then step that right foot forward. Bring the right hand inside the right foot. Lower the left knee down. It's like lizard variation. You can put a block underneath your hands. Good. If you want to lower down to the forearms, do the right forearm first, and then the left. Why? It's safer this way. Good. Now, a couple variations with that right foot. You can keep that whole sole of the foot down. Maybe if it can even hug into the right shoulder, or you can roll onto the outer edge. And in yin yoga, they call this like the wing dragon, right? The wing opens out to the side. And if you're bored, I have another variation for you. Bend your left knee, curl the left heel towards your left buttocks. Right hand maybe wraps around, holding left foot. Moving into towards sensation as another way to gain perspective. The heart is opening either downward or to the side or even back. Yeah. 3 more breaths. Right, this too shall pass. Right? This final breath, how do you want to be in this moment? How are your thoughts? If you have the foot, gentle release. Everybody, both hands back down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Good. 3-legged down dog, right leg up and back. Bend the knee once more. Open the hip, right hip opens away from left. And if you want to revolve, you're set up. Let the ecstatic, untamed heart stretch open. Thank you. And then come back, 3-legged dog. Right leg up. Ooh, optional vinyasa here. Right leg up. Draw the knee in towards the chest and send that right leg to the left. Listen, maybe you find a way to bring that right hip down to the ground. And then once you're there, try to square your chest. Your heart is facing your mat. Maybe you come to the forearms. Maybe head rests. Maybe your chest stays up. Adjust your back foot so that it supports you. There are many different ways. Keep your knee. Your knee's not relaxed. The knees can be engaged a little. Yeah, so yes, Romy. Then therefore it's safe. Move into the quiet, sacred spaces of your mind. Okay, let's exit slowly. Lift your head a little bit, let the light in, rise up onto the palms, tuck your back toes, situate your life. And then bring that right leg up and back. Slow, 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 slow. Phew. Downward facing dog, both feet back down on the earth. Situate your palms, the soles of your feet, the sole of your heart. And then lift your left leg up. Bend the knee, open hip, roll ankle, circle knee. Reconnect, especially to that left palm. Yeah. And then step that foot forward. Walk your left hand inside. Walk the left foot out. Yeah, good. Lower back knee down. Coming into lizard. Okay? Adjust, adjust. And if you're lowering down to the forearms, it's the left one first, and then the right. Make a choice if the left foot is staying down in its entirety or if it's rolling onto the outer edge, opening that wing. Good. And here, that quad stretch opportunity, right, opens itself to you where you bend that right knee. And dear friends, you are not on the kneecap. You're more on the muscle of the right thigh. Okay, so if you need to walk that right knee back, that could help. Left arm that circles around to see what is possible. Feel into the spaciousness of the front of your chest, as well as the back of the heart. So if you shine a light from one direction, it shines out the other side. And if someone is a little lost in the dark, walking behind you or in front of you, they say, oh, right, that's the way to go. And so this, my friends, is a service to those that are lucky enough to walk next to you. 3 more breaths. I know. 2. 1. Release the foot. Yeah. 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Yeah, if you want to flip it and kind of turn your world upside down. Yeah, Sumo, lift the hips. Woof, that's it. And then come back. Optional vinyasa here. Terri, I'm going to have you switch directions. So just turn the other way. Give your legs somewhere to go. Good. Downward facing dog. Good. Now lift your left leg up and draw the left knee into your chest. Look to your right. And then slide that left leg underneath. Lower that left hip down to earth. Square your chest towards your mat. And then decide where to go with the chest. Just practice engaging your right kneecap just for a moment to make sure you know where that body part is in space. And that you're not just like dumping the weight into that spot, okay? Thank you. Going in deep places, friends. Takes courage, right? It takes a hero to go explore, to sit, right, and be with your own thoughts. How can you totally accept what's happening in yourself if you don't know exactly what it looks like? And sometimes it's not fun, right? It's real bitter to look into those spaces, to replay conversations. So we harness that strength by doing difficult things such as this. Breath by breath, we get stronger together. You ready to exit? Okay, good. Me too. Come back up slowly. And then very sweetly unravel from this pose. 3-legged dog. Bring that leg up. Whew. Downward facing dog. Come down. Lower the knees. Inhale, cow pose. Stretch your heart forward. Oh. And then round the spine, cat pose. Pin your tailbone down. Good. One more. Inhale, cow pose. Really focus on your breathing. And exhale, cat pose. Malasana, child's pose. Whoosh. Thank yourself for making time. Making time and then following through with action, no? It is this practice that can help us ease our own unnecessary suffering. It is this practice that helps us become our own heroes. And maybe most importantly, our own friends. And as we know, if you want good friends, you have to be one. Optional headstand. I'm not going to teach it, so only if you know it, you come in. Otherwise, stay in child's pose. You can add a lateral stretch, walking the hands over to one side and stretching out the side body. Or perhaps you take a very yin yoga approach where you just stay in child's pose for a longer duration, allowing a little bit of that discomfort in. And maybe as you practice doing that, right, allowing, oh, that hip sensation is deepening. It's getting more intense. That is the first step to total acceptance, no? What that person said to me was really hurtful, but I can accept that as part of my experience, as part of my past, but it no longer pulls me out of the present moment. One more minute. Observe your breath. If you're in headstand, consider coming back down and taking counter pose, child's pose. Everybody inhale 2. A really relieving exhale. Thank you. One more. And then we exhale for someone who is having a hard time right now. Thank you. Come to tabletop slowly. Walk your knees underneath your hips if they were wide. Good. Puppy pose. Keep your lower body where it is. Walk the arms forward. Bring either the forehead to the block, to the ground. If you have flexibility, like Terri, the chin. Watch the compression in your neck. Michael, walk your hands forward like 2 more inches. There. Feel into that. Your hips are over your knees right now. Okay? And as you exhale, in a few moments here, the heart begins to melt towards your mat. Watch the compression on your neck. Two more breaths. All right, 2 more moments. Allowing yourself to accept a little bit of discomfort. And then exit the pose. Your body knows how it wants to exit. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Good. And we're going to counter this with 1 downward facing. Phew. Yep. Do we want pigeon? Are we good? No comment. Okay, I want pigeon. Okay. All right, lift your, just checking. Lift your left leg up. Good. Pigeon. What needs to be softened? What needs to be awakened? I hope the answer comes through in this pose. And let's practice counting our breath cycles. Okay, so count 3 more full cycles of breath to yourself. And in this way, not letting our awareness evaporate, rather yoking it, right? Harnessing it in every situation. Good. Inhale to lift and exit. If you're on your back, simply switch sides. If you're facing down, downward facing dog. Phew. And then let's transition to the other side. Right leg. Bring it forward. Is it possible to soften the pores of your skin so that we become a little bit more receptive? How about the hair follicles on your scalp? Can you relax those? Total and unconditional acceptance. Maybe that's really what letting go is all about. Bring your attention to where you are looking internally. Being your own hero by being your own friend. Remember to look up for guidance. Remember to look in front of you to know where you're going. Remember to look behind you to help somebody who may be a little lost. And remember to look down to get the whole picture. One breath in, a sigh of relief, and then exit this pose slowly, muscle by muscle, bone by bone. Take a final vinyasa rinse, maybe, maybe not. From down dog, shift into your plank pose. Use the knees for support if you like. Lower down to the belly. Yeah, all the way down. One Cobra Pose. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Come onto the back, bend the knees. Hold your legs. Spinal twist, legs to the left. Three breaths. All right, short and sweet. And squeeze your legs together. Bring the legs to the right. Yeah. Gaze to the left. 3 breaths here. Exactly. Shavasana. Oof. each one of you here is to be your own friend, be your own hero. 3 ohms, inhale. Shine bright in an effort to ease the pain and suffering of all beings, seen and unseen. I humbly bow to each one of you. Thank you so much for being my friend. Bowing your head forward, thanking yourself.